Thanks, Claude. Well, we're excited to get a game at home, homecoming, another night game. We're expecting our crowd to be extremely loud and turn out in forces, and we need them. This is an extremely high-powered offense, extremely explosive. When you watch the tape, you see the reason they are. You watch our tape against them last year. We gave up more explosives in this game than we did any other time last year. And to be honest, offensively, they've only stopped themselves. Not many people have stopped them as far as yardage. And they do a good job on defense. I think Barry always has of giving negative yardage plays, lost yardage plays. Do a good job with their front. And we struggled to block them last year. So we got a good opponent to get ready for. It'll be a challenge for us. Obviously, the record does not indicate how good they are, and we know that as coaches. Our job is to get that message to our players.
Raise your hand if you have a question.
What do you think your defense is as far as being prepared to take on that kind of challenge?
Well, we just got to play well. I mean, we got to play much better than we did last week. We got to have a good week of practice. I hope last week got our attention that good quarterback that's accurate, that knows where to throw the ball, can attack a defense, and that's certainly what Mizzou has. Very similar to Vanderbilt as far as the quarterback making decisions and processing things. I think this kid's got as strong as arms as anybody in the league. He's got two really outstanding wideouts, not to mention some big tight ends, and they do a great job the RPO game. They're very hard to defend last year, and they're very hard to defend this year. Again, they stop themselves. People don't stop them. They've stopped themselves with turnovers. So we got to have a good plan, and we got to play well.
Kirby, how would you evaluate through 6 games the secondary when it comes to one-on-one situations that quarterback's not throwing under duress, et cetera?
Some good, some bad. I mean, 50-50 balls, we've probably won more than 50% of them. I mean, we've had a good chance there to get the ball down, made some big plays in the Mississippi State game. In Tennessee, when the ball was in the air, we made plays on it. We didn't do that all the time the other day, and we weren't in the nearest tight coverage. So you win some, you lose some when you play the style of play we play. You got to win more than you lose, and you got to affect the quarterback some. So as far as the evaluation, it's up and down depending on what game, what moment, what player.
Kirby, that's something you could comment on the way Nick Chubb is playing this year. He's leading the SEC in rushing, but he's not getting a lot of national acclaim really this year because you're sharing so many backs. But should he be maybe considered more for national awards? I know you're not concerned about that, but because of what he does for the team and the effect that he has on defenses and such.
Yeah, that's not for me to judge. I'm not here to lobby for anybody. I certainly love Nick and I love our entire offensive backfield. They work so hard. I tell them all the time, the thing that sticks out to me is the teams that win, you get more individual accolades. So together, everyone achieves more. That's what team stands for. And if everybody wins, then at the end of the day, the accolades will come. So I think he's focused on that. He knows whatever's best for the team helps. I mean, Sony is the guy that nobody talks about, and he's had one of the best couple runs we've had all year. He was really productive the other day. So I think those guys obviously take away from each other when it comes to national recognition because they don't get the carries. But they don't care about that. The reason they came back was to win, and that's the ultimate goal, and right now they're helping us achieve that.
Kirby, I guess you used 5 backs the other day. As Coach McGee and you guys, are you able to map that out a certain bit in terms of a plan of how many you want to use or how much of it just by the feel and the way the game plays out?
Yeah, it's where the game plays out. I mean, a tighter ball game, you might not see that many. We're big on getting the back lathered up, getting him going and playing, and unfortunately that doesn't get to include everybody unless you're in a special circumstance, which doesn't happen all the time. We want our best runners in there to run. We want our best protectors in there to protect. We want our best pass catchers in there to catch the passes. So best players are going to play to the point of exhaustion, and then we got to be able to play other guys.
Kirby, Sam Pittman in year 2, it seems like it is for a lot of these offensive linemen. They're playing under the same coach for the 2nd year in a row. How good of a job do you think he's done with like getting these guys to improve gradually and become kind of the I guess less. I mean, they were seen as more of a weakness to start the season. No 3 starters coming back, but at the same time now they're kind of starting to assert themselves as maybe a little bit of the strength of this offense.
Well, I'm one that looks at things a little different because I say that Sam Pittman did a good job last year, and everybody does everything based on results. That's the world we live in, and he did the same job last year that he's doing this year to the tune of different results. You know, we're able to throw the ball, got a little more vertical threats in our receivers, got a system that's working a little bit better, running the ball a little bit better, doing less runs. I mean, there's not a lot of secrets to it. He's working the same number of hours, and he's working just as hard as he did last year. We're just getting better production right now. And we still probably haven't seen a front quite as big and playing as many people as Mizzou does. They play a lot of guys. They play about 10 guys up front, and we'll face better fronts than we faced the last couple games in the coming weeks, including this week.
Coach, what have you seen from Lonnie Rice in more of an in a bigger role to linebacker position now? I mean, how do you feel like he's kind of grown from the beginning of the season to now halfway point?
He's grown up a lot. You know, he was one of the guys that was very fortunate to get spring practice. So he got spring practice, which helped him be a little bit ahead of the other backers we signed as far as knowing what to do. We thought all spring he was going to be a good player because he's really fast. He thumps you when he gets there. It was more of a, can he be comfortable and not have anxiety playing in the heat of the moment? Thought he got over some of that. You know, he made a play against, who was it? Mississippi State, you know, there at the end of the game. I thought that gave him some confidence. He was able to make some plays the other day. I think Monty's going to be a mighty fine football player. He's just growing. You know, he's shown a lot of growth, and he's got a long way to go.
Kirby, actually, to follow up to Brandon's question, my count is you've played 17 true freshmen this year. Hopefully that's close to your count. How do you go about determining this guy's ready to play and then how much to put on their plate?
I think you determine that by practice and their awareness. I mean, we knew a long time ago Andrew Thomas was ready. We knew a long time ago DeAndre Swift was ready. They proved that in camp, and neither of those guys were here mid-year. But that's an ongoing process, and it's an ongoing evaluation. We don't hold anybody back that can help us win. And if a guy's ready to help us win, then the guy plays. As far as how much, that's up to them. That's up to the competition in practice and how well they do. But a significant amount of those freshmen you're referring to are helping in special teams, and they've been part of the special team turnaround.
Kirby, a two-parter here. What's the latest on Trent Thompson with his recovery, and also after watching the film, how did the D lineman play in his absence?
Trent's recovering. He'll be day to day and week to week. We haven't ruled him out for this game. We hope to be able to get him back. He's still battling back. He's moving now, running some. But as far as in his absence, how the guys played, they played very similar to the way they did playing the weeks before. We probably didn't strike blockers as well against Vanderbilt as we had done before. We had a couple guys playing more snaps than they did before. We had a couple guys playing different positions where our zero nose is playing 5 technique. Julian had to go play some other positions. So we had guys playing more snaps, and we also didn't get off the field on third down, which resulted in more snaps for the defensive line. So the conditioning part had an effect on Saturday, playing in the heat and playing guys a lot of snaps. We just didn't have as many guys to play with Trent now.
Kirby, since Mizzou shows tendency to throw the ball 40 plus times, which is obviously wear on the secondary, how from camp on, you concerned about the gap between the junior seniors and the younger guys? How are they coming on, and you think they'll get a lot of playing time Saturday because of Mizzou's passing attack?
Well, my first thing is I would say that people mistake Mizzou. Mizzou's a very 50-50 balanced team, and a lot of the passes you see from Mizzou are RPOs, which are dictated by what the defense does. So they're designed to run with a pass attached, but we have a much more balanced. They're a very good running football team when it comes to execution. They get people out of the box, they spread you out, and then they attack you. If you don't control the run game, it'll be a long night because they'll just do that. Now, can they throw the ball vertical down the field? Yeah. They throw it good, and they've got some weapons to do it with. But that probably won't have anything to do with the number of DBs that play, because typically we play the best DBs in all situations. We're not rotating a lot of guys at DB.
Coach, did last year going 8-5, that in any way set y'all up for the 6-0 start you've had?
I honestly believe that every year is independent of the previous. It's like a coin flip. You know, they say that if it's 10 times heads, the next one's gonna be tails. It's not true. It's 50-50 every time. So that last year had nothing to do with this year, in my opinion. I mean, I think they're completely independent. I think the leadership of this team is completely different of that team last year. The practice environment's different. There's a lot of differences.
Kirby, you mentioned at the start, the job of the coaches to convince players of the challenge at hand this week. Do you have a feel yet for the maturity level of the team to maintain the focus on a week-to-week basis and not get caught up in big picture things?
It's hard to say the feel. I met with some guys yesterday. I always meet with a few guys just situationally on Sunday, but really hadn't seen the team yet, and that'll be a big directive and motive for us as coaches today.
Another running back question, yards after contact. How pleased have you been with that aspect of your running back and how hard they're running?
Yeah, I don't know statistically what it is, but I gotta believe it's pretty good. I mean, I know they keep up with it, but it's not something that I chart. I know Dale calls them dog yards, yards after contact, and he gets a lot of motivation through those in his room because there's competition to see who gets the best job of that. And they do a tremendous job of that. But I think also